Hi, my name's Anson. I play bass for the progressive rock band Gladiolus, prog rock, prog metal. Unfortunately, our drummer Joe can't be here tonight. Today, Joe Shirley. And yeah, this is Dan.
Hey, I'm Dan. I'm the vocalist and guitarist for Gladiolus, and we're talking to Chris today, dropping our single "The Wanderer" on Friday, the 2nd of December.
Beautiful, guys. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Thanks for having us.
My
Yeah,
pleasure.
thank you very much.
So, as you mentioned, Gladiolus will be unleashing your second single, "The Wanderer," on December 2. So, tell us a bit about the song musically and what you're going for with it.
Yeah. So compared to the first thing we put out, which was Chrysalis, which was back mid this year, it's a bit more of a calmer, more stripped back thing. So I guess the material we've been working on spans from very heavy stuff to very light stuff, and this is kind of the lighter side. It's also a bit more of a deeper cut. It's less accessible, I suppose, in a way. Like it's not traditional song structure. It's got a lot of messing around in it, but it flows really nicely.
Yeah, just to add on to that, that's not to say that it does have its hard hitting bits and is quite a journey, I would say. Yeah, like a lot of thought and effort and time went into its composition and recording, and it's been quite a journey getting to where we are now. We can actually show people our art and what we've spent so much time creating, and really trying to curate to our target audience, which is as I'm sure like a lot of listeners out there.
And as you mentioned, like it's a direct contrast to your debut single, Chrysalis, with that song being on the more accessible realm of prog metal, and The Wanderer represents the softer side of the band's sound. So was it a deliberate thing to showcase those two different sides of the band's sound as your first two releases?
Yeah, absolutely. We wanted to come out of the gate with something that was like obviously very reminiscent, we wanted to come out of the gate with something that was very as an example of our core sound and what we sound like. But we wanted it to be something that was easily digestible. And this is very much an extension of that. It very much still sounds the same when it comes to our general sound, but it shows now we've got the two singles, we've got, the depth of what we can do and what we want to show people with what we've got planned to come out.
Yeah, it shows a little bit more of our variety and a little bit more of what we're capable of achieving with our art. Yeah,
it demonstrates our range.
Yeah. So as a new band on the scene, like what sorts of things do you think about and consider when it comes to releasing your first couple of songs? Like you want to make that impact. So what sorts of things do you think about?
For me, primarily a lot of it's about I guess networking, trying to find other artists who would like to share the stage with us and help us get our art out there for others to to vibe with. I mean, we are making this for ourselves, but it's also for everyone out there to digest. And yeah, we just want to get this out to as many people as we can.
And they say it takes a village. I think that applies to bands too, right?
Yeah.
True. And I noticed like early on in this conversation already, like I noticed you guys are using the term art as opposed to music a lot. Like, is that what this is to you? More of an art form, I guess?
A bit of both for me. I mean, a lot of this is more of an artistic pursuit for me. I'm trying to achieve something. I think we all are. We've all set out to achieve our vision. We're not doing like formula pop, or we're not messing around with that kind of thing. We just really want to push what we can do musically and creatively, and that's why I see it as more of an artwork as opposed to it is music. It's definitely music and it's enjoyable, but that's sums up how I define that.
So for those that are unfamiliar with Gladiolus, tell us a bit about the band.
So it kind of started with me back in 2016, just messing around in my my parents' little granny flat with an Axe-8, seeing what I could make, fiddling around. And I got a few tracks together and I was like, hey, this could be something legitimate, and had a look around online in some communities and had a look to see who I could find who might want to collaborate and see what we could come up with, and put up a post on the internet, on Facebook, I think it was, on like a Brisbane musicians classifieds, and
yeah,
Anson came along and saw that a couple of months after I posted it. It was a bit of a fortuitous thing, and we connected pretty quickly. And then we met Joe, our drummer, through a friend, and went out and met him, and that was again a pretty quick click. And since then, it's been pretty smooth riding.
So, are these two songs standalone singles, or are they part of a bigger album picture?
They're definitely part of a bigger work. We've got some stuff that we're working on right now that we're hoping we can show everybody soon as soon as it's ready. We've been working on it for years now. It's a larger body of work. There's the story and all that sort of thing, and everything ties in. You'll be able to see how Chrysalis and the Wanderer flow into each other, and there is a connection there. But that's something that's a little bit down the road.
All right, cool. So would you say that those two songs are a good sonic representation then of what's to come?
It is a very dynamic thing we're working on. There's a whole range of stuff in there. It's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot to dig into.
So you mentioned story a couple of times in talking about the new music. So does that mean that it's going to be a conceptually based album, or can you not tell us that yet?
No, I think we'll leave that one for now.
Yeah.
That's something further down the track, I think, if that's cool.
Yeah.
What do you think, Anson?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too much into the to what's coming up. I don't want to give too much away. It is it's a lot.
Yeah, no worries at all. So these days, a lot of bands you find are releasing EPs over albums just because people's attention spans aren't what they used to be, I guess. But you guys are deciding to release an album as your first body of work. So what was the thought process behind that?
For me, I think a full album is the only way to accurately express what we're trying to get across. An EP just doesn't give us enough room to maneuver and explore ideas properly. Yeah,
we laid down all the tracks. We got our list of tracks together of what we wanted to contribute, and we thought about whether we could shave it down or not. In fact, we have shaved it down, and it's still as long as an album, and that's what it needs to be to deliver the message we want to deliver.
Absolutely, yeah. It needs to be in the format it's in.
Yeah,
that was an afterthought.
Yeah, like I know you say it needs to be that, and I don't doubt that for 1 minute. But as your first album, do you think it's a little bit risky going with a full album these days when people's, like I say, their attention spans aren't what they used to be? So is it like, do you have to sort of come up with something a little bit special or something extra to make sure you do grab them?
I mean, yeah, I suppose it is risky. That's why we're dropping singles to begin with, just so that we can kind of cast our line out and go, hey, this is who we are, this is what we make. But I mean, we, at the end of the day, we have songs to play to people, and we'll take out the songs we want to play live, and we'll play those, and people will hear those, and they'll get the same context. And I think that when we made this album, we really made it for us first.
Yeah,
so, that's it. It's something we would want to listen to, and that's how I consume music. Is often in front to back albums. That's just how I do it. Like I put an album on, or clean the house, or I drive up to the Sunshine Coast. That's an hour 20 in the car.
Yep,
that's plenty of time.
Sometimes I spend months with one album, just digesting it properly and getting it all in my head before I move on to the next. That's often how when it's new artists, and even artists I like that I listen to all the time. It can take me a long time to get through their stuff, just because that's how I like to consume it.
Very cool. And what about live shows, mate? You guys got any live shows coming up?
Nothing just as yet. We're hoping to book some shows on the back of this launch. But yeah, we're trying to work some stuff out. Hopefully we'll be on the stage very soon. I mean, we've been gearing up, getting ready for a long time, and we're really, really keen to hit the stage. Yeah, we've been putting our kit together and getting practice in and getting really tight so that we're good live, hopefully. And we'll see how we go. Hopefully soon. Hopefully very, very soon.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. So where can people keep up to date with the band and find out what's going on?
Best place would be Instagram, I guess. So Gladiolus the band on Instagram, and same on Facebook. Those are probably the two main ones. Most of the posts across the two are the same. So Instagram is probably your best place to keep up with us. We got a Bandcamp as well, and Twitter, but yeah, those are probably the best places.
Beautiful, guys. All right. Well, thanks very much for your time today. The Wanderer premieres on Heavy at 1:30 p.m. Queensland time this Friday, December the 2nd, and is showcased to the rest of the world at midnight. So I've had a listen, mate. She's a cracking song, and I hope it gets the success it deserves.
Thanks very much, Chris.
Yeah, we appreciate it.